In a bustling urban street called Cedar Lane, there lived a young girl named Amelia. She was known across the neighborhood for one thing, her respect. From when she was just a little girl carrying her mother's basket to the market, Amelia had a habit of greeting everyone she met. Whether it was an old woman sweeping her compound, the taxi driver washing his car, or the elderly man sitting outside his house reading a newspaper, Amelia always greeted politely. There was one particular man she never failed to greet, Papa Thompson. He was in his early 60s, a quiet, well-respected man in the community who owned the only borehole around the side of the street. Almost everyone came to fetch water from his compound, and he was known to be kind and accommodating. From her childhood, Amelia had always greeted him. On her way to school, to church, or even just walking past with her friends, she would wave and say, "Good morning, Papa Thompson," or "Good afternoon, sir." And no matter how many times she passed, she never got tired of it. It became almost a part of who she was. Years went by. Amelia grew into a beautiful, graceful young lady. Alongside her two close friends, Lydia and Tina, she wrote her WAEC exams. They all passed and were full of excitement about their future. Soon, each of them gained admission into different universities. Time rolled on quickly. After their first year in school, the holidays came, and all three girls returned home. But something had changed. Lydia and Tina, who once laughed and played freely around the street, now carried themselves with a new air of pride. They had seen a little bit of university life and now looked down on people who had not. They no longer greeted elders like they used to. When people called out to them, they would respond with a wave or just walk past pretending to be on a phone call. But Amelia remained the same. The same humble, cheerful girl who always smiled and greeted everyone. Her mother would often smile proudly and say, "Some children change when they see little comfort, but mine remembers her roots." Every morning during the holiday, Amelia would follow her mother to fetch water from Papa Thompson's compound, just as she had done for years. The place was always full of people, women chatting, children laughing, buckets clanging on the ground. Amelia always greeted everyone warmly, sometimes even helping little children balance their buckets on their heads. One sunny afternoon, she arrived as usual to fetch water. Papa Thompson was sitting under a big almond tree in front of his house, and beside him sat a young man in his late 20s, his son, David, who had just returned from the United Kingdom. He was home for a few weeks to visit his father and rest from work. As Amelia entered the compound, she greeted cheerfully, "Good afternoon, Papa Thompson." "Good afternoon, sir." She did not even know who the young man was. Papa Thompson smiled. "Oh, Amelia, my daughter, you are welcome. How is your mother?" "She is fine, sir," she replied, already moving to help an older woman lift her bucket. David watched quietly as she fetched her water, helped two other girls balance their containers, and even smiled at the little children running around. When she was done, she adjusted her wrapper and waved politely. "Goodbye, sir," she said with a smile before leaving. After she left, Papa Thompson sighed deeply and turned to his son. "That girl, David, that is one child who has never passed me without greeting, not even once. Since she was a little girl, she has always shown respect. Rain or sun, Whether she is in a hurry or not, she always greets. She has the kind of upbringing that is rare these days. David nodded slowly, his eyes still on the path where Amelia had walked away. She seems different, he said quietly. In the days that followed, David found himself thinking about her often. A few weeks later, as fate would have it, he met her again near the community library. They got talking, exchanged phone numbers, and before long, they began communicating frequently. Their friendship blossomed quickly, simple, sincere, and full of mutual respect. David admired her humility and intelligence. Amelia admired his kindness and calmness. But not everyone was happy. When Lydia and Tina discovered that David, the same man they had been trying to impress with their flashy clothes and fake accents, was now getting close to Amelia, they could not hide their jealousy. They mocked her behind her back, saying she was acting like a good girl to catch a rich man. Amelia paid no attention to them. She remained her quiet, respectful self, never allowing their bitterness to change her nature. David eventually returned to the United Kingdom, but he kept in touch. They spoke often, and their bond only grew stronger across the distance. 2 years later, David returned home again. But this time, it was not for a casual visit. He came with his family to officially meet Amelia's parents, pay her bride price, and marry her traditionally. The entire neighborhood was filled with joy and admiration. People whispered among themselves, "Is that not the same Amelia that used to greet everybody? Look how her respect opened doors for her." Her two friends could only watch silently, realizing too late that what they once saw as being too local was actually a treasure they had thrown away. Soon after her wedding, David took Amelia abroad to live with him. From that small community where she once carried buckets of water, she now walked through the streets of London with grace and gratitude. And whenever she called home, she would tell her mother, "Mama, greeting costs nothing, but it opens doors money cannot."